Hello, everyone. This is Angel Aviles with another episode of 30 Inspiring Women brought to you by Living Firme. Today, I'm really happy to bring you a woman who has a very unique experience. You know, I do a lot of reach outs and I'm always involved in serving my community and just the community at large in need. And a lot of people reach out to me and ask me how they can help and how they can be involved. Well, this woman today we have as a guest is just an ordinary woman. She was a young mom. She got her GED. She's been through a lot of the struggles that we can all relate to. And she lives in a small community in LA, and she decided that she just wanted to be of service to those around us. And she didn't wait. She just put together a group of people with like-minded intentions and built a community. I met her through Carranza, through Sparkles, and I just really fell in love because her Facebook page reads like this: straight from the heart. We're just a few people with heartfelt intentions to give back to our community and help out our homeless and those less fortunate. We serve the homeless on Fridays at the Beacon Light Mission Doors of Hope for Women and have been doing it for a year now. So next year, we're going to try and do a little more with the help of good, honest, and reliable people with our same intentions. Thank you, Laura, for being with us. I always start these conversations off the same, asking how you grew up and what brought you to this point. What gave you the courage to just start a group and serve?
Hi, Angel. I grew up around a lot of people, a lot of my family. Everybody had big hearts. Everybody came together when people were down, when family members were down, when somebody needed help. And especially in my household, my dad, he was very compassionate person. He would sit in the front yard and, you know, he'd have his friends come by. My mom really didn't care for to have a bunch of people here, but, you know, my dad, he would sit there and somebody would tell him their story. They didn't have food or they needed help, and he was right there. He never hesitated to help anybody. So we always seen him. There was even times where he had us come inside and make a sandwich or make some mac and cheese or something to give to the people so they can take with them when they leave. So I grew up around a lot of it, you know, and seeing a lot of poverty around, and it just, you know, it's heartbreaking, you know. And so just growing up trying to keep that mentality to help people, to protect people, and that's where I learned it. And then we started with the Beacon Light and the mission, and that was serving the homeless people there at the mission. So we had our own day to go there, and they gave us a Friday. So the group just started getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and we did that for a whole year. And we sat and decided, you know what, I know we can do more outside because there's so many people that need help. And at that point, all we knew was to help the people in the mission. And so then we started, you know, talking to people out there and trying to get some resources for them. And we just, boom, the group started. That was it. And it's been 2 years now since our group on the outside, helping people on the streets happened. And it's just been going nonstop. I haven't even had a chance to get our date for our event for this year, because we try to have events every few months to give food, clothing, resources and stuff like that, because we already had to have one family who was displaced, and we have to focus on that when somebody asks us for that help. The whole group comes together, and so we helped them because they were displaced and they didn't have nothing for their home, not even towels. So then we did that, and then we had something horrible happen. One of our members passed away. So now we're trying to raise money to help the family bury her. So it's just nonstop. You know, people need help, and so that's what our group is about. We try to come together and help our city and our people.
I love that. I myself have just been on your group list when you do just a random shout out for what's needed, and then I see everyone come together because you are so specific about what you need. I remember there was a call for one thing that I was surprised about and that I really, really super loved was that you had a post where some kids in a local high school weren't eating breakfast. And I don't know how that happened, but, you know, these teachers were saying how their kids were hungry and they just wanted to have snacks. And so your group put together just all of these things. And I think that people don't realize how many needs there are.
We don't because, a lot of, like with the high school thing, see, now that we have our group, and there's like several other groups in our town also, so there's a few that we come together when it comes to things like that, and we have another group that's called A Needy Wilmington, and it's a funny thing because speaking with, his name is Tony Fernandez, speaking with him, and once I seen that he was helping the high school kids, and he would shout out and ask for things, I would post it to my group, and then we'd come together try to help because, Wilmington is very small. We're part of LA County, but we're like way in the end over here by the harbor area, and so we're kind of like in the outskirts, like left out of a lot of things. So we kind of have to come together to try to do things for our community. So then come to find out he's with one of my cousins, and I didn't even know her because, see, I have a huge family. So we got to meet each other. So she's another part of my family who has the same intentions as we do. So, yeah, all we did was we shared his post, we asked everybody, and we came together. And, a lot of these kids, they are embarrassed. They don't want to say anything. And it's the same thing with families. There's so many people that I can't even put on our page that we help because of them being embarrassed of not having things and being embarrassed to ask. But I feel so lucky because, people have that trust in me. So, I'm not going to say, oh, well, this person needs help. When I ask for stuff, I just say we have a family because, it's very important to try to help these people because if you can get them motivated and give them that little bit of push, then they might want to come out and maybe you can give them other resources where they'll be able to go and get more help than what we can give.
I absolutely agree. I think that shame is one thing that actually propels people to go even further into darkness because a person who is struggling and can't ask for help is less likely to get the help that they need and end up in a worse situation. So I think how you do things is really, really important. One of the things I did want to talk to you about, because I have people and they'll say, oh, yeah, I want to, but, in my town there are certain rules and we can't feed the homeless and we can't do this or we can't do that. I have people listening from all over the country. What are some of the tips that you could give somebody to help them start just helping out?
Some people are hard to approach, but your heart, you follow your heart. So, if you do approach somebody and ask them, you connect with them and then you can help them in that way. I know a lot of places, and I've been seeing a lot that the police, they're not really going for people feeding people and stuff like that, but we've been very fortunate. Our city works with us, and what we do is we go to a place, we don't stay for long, we only stay a few hours, and then we're out. We don't want to cause any problems because for some reason it's a problem for some people. So it's what you feel. If you feel that you can approach somebody and talk with them and help them, then it's cool. I'm sure you have friends that maybe have the same feelings as you. You guys can get a little small group together, maybe make a couple little sack lunches and stuff, and then just go out there and just, try to communicate with people. That's all it is. There could be somebody sitting on the bench and they're just really sad and your heart, so you can go and talk to them. And, another good thing too is that maybe if you go online and try to look in your community and see if you can find resources. If you can find resources or even go to a place that has flyers, try to get some flyers because the people out there, they don't know where to look. They're really lost. And if you can get these flyers with this information that has these places for them, that would be like the best thing you could do besides, helping them out in any other way. Give them those flyers. Tell them if they need help, can you help them make phone calls, or even if you just give them that flyer and they go wherever they go with it, they might read it and maybe that might motivate them to try to call. There's a lot of things that can be done. You just got to try it, Don't get discouraged.
You're right. The other thing that I see on your page all the time is postings for jobs. I think you all come together as a resource and, there's always posting for jobs and always posting for different kinds of training. You're really in touch with how to stimulate the community. Okay, you need a job, here are job postings. You need training, here's job training. You need help with resumes, here's people that can help you with your resume. You really do look for ways to supply these access to resources, and you're not even supplying them yourself. You're actually just pulling together as a community to supply this wealth of information. And with all of the things that can go wrong on the internet, for all of the reasons people say they hate social media or hate Facebook and all of these platforms, you are taking it and doing a good thing. And I think you're absolutely right. Sometimes just showing that you care is the stimulation that someone needs.
Yes, that's true. It's really true, you know, because there's so much animosity towards people that are homeless. You know, everybody has, you know, something to say, you know, oh, they're lazy. They don't want to do anything. You know, they just want to be out there. They want to live free. But you know what? When you really talk to somebody and see what their struggle is, then you really find out why the reason, you know, they're out there. If you can get them to open up to you, there's so many people out there that can't afford rent. There are so many people out there that they don't even know where to turn to. And, you know, there is people out there who choose to be out there. You know, those are the ones that you try to talk to and try to motivate them, you know, and those are the ones that we just give the resources to, the papers. We talk to them and we don't neglect them, you know, we don't, because we're not here to judge people. We're here to try to help. Yeah, all they need is just a little bit of kindness, you know, that's all it is. A handshake, a smile, a couple of kind words, you know, that's all somebody needs. Maybe that's all they might need to motivate themselves or to even open up.
So true. So true. So what would you think, like, in listening to this conversation, someone might say, oh, well, it's because she's doing so well. She has all that. Tell me a little bit about your background and how somebody might misconstrue what you have going on because you're such a servant to others.
Oh my God. Okay. So, you know, my best memories are being home with my mom. My dad rode his bike to work to make ends meet for our family. We lived off Top Ramen. Top Ramen was like the ultimate dinner for us, you know, Top Ramen and a grilled cheese and sitting in front of the TV, eating off of a TV tray and, going out in the neighborhood, playing with all the kids, roller skating, you know, I mean, we weren't rich. We didn't have everything, but we had what we needed. We had a roof over our head. We had food on the table, no matter what it was. And we had love and compassion. And so that's what we had. I mean, I didn't have it all. You know, growing up, went to high school. I absolutely hated going to school. I ditched all the time. You know, I fought. I always felt I had to protect everybody, so I was a fighter. Some people might have called me a bully, but I don't think I was a bully. Okay, another thing. School I felt was boring because I knew how to do everything in the classes. I would go to school. The first semester I went to school, I did my work, I got my credits, but it was way too easy for me, so it was boring. And that was another reason why I ditched. And I got this opportunity to get a job at an elementary school as a TA. So from then, that's how I took my GED and then, you know, just went forward. I was a young mother. You know, I had two boys back to back. So it was like having twins, two different size diapers, bottles, crazy. And, you know, of course I had a party life. You know, I still wasn't all the way grown up. I was 21 with two kids. You know, I did my partying. I did a lot of mistakes. You know, I mean, my life was not perfect, but I'm trying to make my life better, and by making my life better, I'm helping other people. And from then on, it just blossomed.
That's what's so awesome is that I love when people realize that you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to arrive at somewhere to make a difference in someone's life. You don't have to arrive at being perfect to be grateful for the life that you have. And that's one of the wonderful things. You know, you sent me your bio, and when I read it, I was like, yeah, the awareness that you have, that from the beginning, you always had this spirit of gratitude. And then even with the fighting, it was like a spirit of protection. You couldn't be called a bully because you weren't picking on people that were defenseless. You were defending the defenseless. And that still shines through in your character today. You still help people who need your help. Even, you know, people that don't have the voice to speak up for the things that they need. So how can people find you and how can they help?
Okay. We have a Facebook page. It's called Straight from the Heart. You can look us up there. And from there, you can inbox me. If you have any questions, I can answer any question you have, and just go look on our page, see what we're about. Scroll through it and see what you can do. It's so simple. Once you get a page, it just happened. When I did the page, I was kind of nervous because I was like, oh, God, this is something bigger than what we were doing. We were just going on Fridays to the mission. But now we're going to step outside. Is it going to work? Are people going to want to help? And it was just like amazing. I put the page, and the next thing you know, it just went. Everybody just went with the flow. I didn't have to tell anybody what to put on there. They already knew. We have people, like you said, we have people posting jobs. We have, people, if there's something that they have and they want to share with somebody, they'll put it. If somebody's inboxing me asking for help, I put it on there and ask for things. It just goes. It just flows. If there's anybody that wants to see how to do something like this, don't be shy. Just do it. Don't hesitate. Just do it. You can inbox me if you have any questions. I'll answer anything. I'll give you my number. We can talk personally. I'm willing to help anybody start a group to help people.
And that's why you are one of my 30 inspiring women. Thank you so much, Laura.
Thank you.
That concludes my interview with Laura de la Torre, and this is 30 Inspiring Women with Living Firme.